Hello everybody, Denny here. Glad you could join me today. Today we start our journey into watercolor. People will tell you that watercolor is a hard medium to work with. Nothing can be further from the truth. It's running pretty much neck and neck now with acrylic painting as being the most popular medium. Okay, and I'm going to break it down as to where you'll see that it's easy to work with, it's fun to work with. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start at the very beginning. One of the most often asked questions that I have is, how much water do I need in my brush? Oh, I get too much, or I don't have enough, or I don't know. All of the paintings look the same. It's horrible. I don't know what to do. Well, today we're going to start right off with a session on how to get the paint to look like you want it to. How to get it from a very, very thin wash to a very, very intense color. And it's going to be a lot easier than you think. So, welcome. Come on and join me now as we bust the first secret of watercolor, and that is how to make it look like we want, okay? So let's head on over to the desk and our paper and our paints, and we'll get going on this. All right, here we are. I tell you what, I see a lot of this as a teacher. Somebody will show me their watercolor and say, hey, this is my watercolor. I don't want it to look like this. This is not what I envisioned. This is what I envisioned. How do I accomplish that? Well, we're going to learn how to get on board with accomplishing that today. We are going to work with the paint to water ratio, okay? Now, I'm going to get all set down here. Now, the first thing we need to understand is more water, less paint equals a lighter color. Okay, now let's get some water here. Okay, we're going to take about 3 or 4 brush loads of water. Okay, and this is just clear water. Okay, there we go. That ought to be enough to get us going. Now, I'm going to use blue simply because it shows up well. Okay, I'm going to use just a little bit of water just to activate it. Now, I'm going to come out of this blue is pretty thick. Okay, this blue is pretty thick right now. Now, I'm going to come up here into the water. Okay, and as I spread this blue in the water, okay, as I spread that blue in the water, it diffuses because there is more water than there is pigment. Okay, I swirl it around, and if I want a light wash, that's what I will get, just like that. A very, very light wash of that blue. Now, if I want more color, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to grab a little bit more blue, and I'm going to mix that in. See, we're in the same puddle of water, but a little bit more pigment, and it begins to get a little bit darker. Okay, more pigment yet. Okay, we'll put more in. Darker. You see, one of the things to understand is things that are far away from us in a painting are lighter. Things that are closer to us have more intensity of color. Okay, more pigment, more intense. Okay, grab some more pigment. Mix. More intense. Are you getting the idea? If you want the painting to have more intensity of color, you're going to put more pigment in the water. And that's how you determine it. You get a puddle of water, put pigment in, and the more pigment you put in that puddle of water, the more intense the color is going to be. Now we are just about at an equal amount of pigment and water. And look how intense that color is. Now, if you want to take it the other way, okay, you got a nice big puddle of water, you want to take it the other way, you put some more water in, and you get right back to where you started. So, how does this play out? What you want to do right off the bat is get your paints out. Get your paints out. Try your various colors that you've got with this exercise. 3 or 4 brush loads of water. Put paint in, swirl it around, go for the light. And then a little more pigment, a little more, until you get the idea and the feel for how much pigment you want. And use a test strip. You can use a strip like this. This is a test strip. And what you can do is you can go, oh, well, let's see, is this the color I want? No, that's not quite it. So I'll put a little more pigment in. Is this the color I want? Do it on the test strip before you do it on your painting, okay? Just take a minute or so to use a test strip. Now we're going to do a painting, absolutely we are, and I'm going to show you how we use the test strip to check our colors before it goes on to our watercolor paper in the painting. So that's the lesson for today. That's this one, okay? Water to paint ratio. More water, less paint, lighter. More paint, less water, darker. More pigment yet, and less water, dark, very dark. A lot of your painting will be done with this. A lot of it will be done with that. A lot of it will be done with that. Now you know how to get there. Now you can actually come out the winner on the water to paint ratio. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you were here today. I truly am. And be with us next time when we explore another aspect of watercolor painting, okay? We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.